Hello everyone, and welcome to Math 1324, Section 091. This is Math for Business and Social Sciences, and this is the first half of that course, 1324. My name's Terry Barnes, and I'll be helping you with this journey. And I wanted to do this video and just help you get started and understand how it's going to work and what the expectations are. So first of all, here's the nav bar, and that's where you can go to work on your homework and tests right here, where you can check your grades right here. You could look at the attendance or your grades through Brightspace, but I suggest just using the Pearson one for the most part. It's going to be your quickest and most accurate. Here is where announcements will be, orientation video and the welcome announcement. There'll be an announcement every week at least. It'll either be on Saturday or Sunday, and that will be for the following week. So here is the content. You can get to content here, but I've put everything that you might need right here. So let's go over that. So the instructor plan is right here. We're going to look at it, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. You should look over it. You should read it. But I want to point out a couple of important things. So here's the course description, and here is my contact information, although I have that in another place as well. You do not need a hard copy of the text. This is inclusive access, so that means you paid for an electronic book when you paid tuition. So you have an e-text provided for you. You do need an 83 or 84 calculator. If you don't have one, there are some phone apps and you could use those. Or if you have another calculator, a graphing calculator that you're used to, like a TI Inspire, you could use that one as well. I just don't teach to that. Let's move down. And again, you should read all this information, but I want to go to a couple of things. So grading. The course is divided into homework, tests, and final exam. Homework counts 30% of your total average, but you can do your homework over and over again till you get the grade you want. So if you try it 3 times and you don't get it, it's going to generate another question for you. Tests, there are 5 tests plus a comprehensive final. The tests count 50% of your final average. Now, before each test is available, meaning it will not open for you unless you've passed everything in that section with at least a 70. So if you're wanting to take the Chapter 2 test, every homework that's in Chapter 2 has to be passed first. And that should just make sense. We don't want to try to take a test if we haven't done the homework and passed it. Final exam counts 20% of your final average. Okay? Then there's late work, attendance, makeup work policies. You should be aware that you can be dropped if you miss 25% of the course. Well, I check attendance once a week. There's 16 weeks. So if you miss attendance for 4 weeks, then you're on the verge. On the 5th week, you could be dropped. So I will always be contacting you if you are close to that. So you can avoid that issue if you just do something every week. And I'll say that again when we get to looking at the work. But those are the important part, and I just said this about the attendance in this online course. But I did put that there, and we'll talk about it again. So let's now go look at the next thing. So here's my schedule and office hours. Oh, I haven't posted it on this one. Let me do that real quick. Let me do it, and then I'll come right back to the video. Okay, I just had missed this one when I was posting them, but it is here now. So this is my door schedule that would be outside my office if you were in the building, and my office number, my phone extension, and all the courses I'm teaching. These 3 are face-to-face on campus, all on Tuesday, Thursday. These are online. Here is your course right here. So if you're on the campus, Tuesday and Thursday, I'm in my office from 7:30 to 8 in the morning, and on Thursday from 11:30 to 12:30. From Tuesday, I'm going to try to be there from 1 to 4 because I have a night class that evening, and I'll be on campus. On Monday, I will not be on campus, but if you needed to Zoom, you could request and we could Zoom meet from 9 to 11, but you would need to you would give me notice on that and we could work on that. So that is the availability. Let's go back and go to the next item. Okay, next item is our calendar. And if we look here, the calendar doesn't have any dates. That's because everything is available day one. So all of the homework and tests are available now. They're not due ultimately till down here at the end. But this is kind of a suggestion. This is a suggested calendar. So my suggestion is try to do 2.1 and 2.2 week 1. And then week 2, do this. Week 3, try here. If you do not do it that way, there's no penalty for that because nothing's due till down here. But don't let yourself get too far behind this suggestion because you'll end up having lots to do at the very end. So this is a suggestion, and again, and we'll look at it when we look at the work, but there's no penalty if you don't do that. But you want to at least open a homework and work on it for attendance issues each week. So best idea is to try to stay with this calendar, but it is not set in stone. All right, here is my contact info, same thing that we saw on the syllabus and on the door schedules, but it's just a separate tab. Handouts. So there are some, if you're struggling with algebra, because there is some algebra in the course, but if you're struggling, here's a note packet about algebra. Here's a thing just on matrices, which you encounter in the first part of the course. When we get to chapter 3, you may need these graph grids. There's a programming form that we'll talk about in chapter 3 and 4. Here's formulas for chapter 7. Some other things, and then there's formulas for chapter 10. So there's a lot of handouts that as you get to those, you may want to print and use them. All right, let's go back to the home. And here's your e-text. If you need the book, you could click there and it would take you to that. So here's the big thing. Problem sets, lecture notes, videos. This is how my course is set up. I have taken each section and made a set of problems I think are important for you to work on, a set of lecture notes, and I have a video for each section. Let's kind of look at 2.1. So here's chapter 2, problem sets. Here's 2.1. That's going to bring up a PDF, and you may not know what any of this is right this moment, but if you go through the problem set, lecture notes, and video, then you will. And so here are, looks like 7 questions. There's the answers, and you may or may not know how to do any of it, but I would print this, and then I would go back to the lecture notes. Let's do that. So here's the lecture notes, same thing, chapter 2, let's go to 2.1. And here's the notes that you would be taking if you were in class. And we'll go through those, and you ultimately get to the problem sets. The work is there. And so we go through all the work, and we get down to 6, and we get down to 7. I think there's 2 7s because it may have regenerated. There may be one or the other, but they're both there for your help. So there's that. Now some people may be able to just read the lecture notes and get it and go from there. But if you need to hear what I'm saying about that, then we go to the video. Let's look at that. So when you click on video playlists, you'll go here. I have a YouTube channel just for 1324. We go here, and there's 2.1. There's actually 2 videos for that. I think it got broken off, and so maybe that's the finish of it. But you could play that. It's me talking about and working through what the work does. If it's down here in 2.4 where you're using a calculator and matrices, I have the calculator up and I'm clicking buttons and you see what's going on. So between the problem set, the lecture notes, and the video, I've got you prepared to now do the homework. Let's go look at the homework. So we've gone through and you've taken a look at the problem sets for 2.1, you read through the lectures, you watched the video. Now you click here on MML homework and tests, and all of your homework is here. And you can see everything is due April 30th at 11:59. And you can see that here's your Chapter 2 exam. There's a little flag. It says you have to score 70 on all those previous homeworks for that test to open. That's a reminder. You have 2 hours on the test, and you have 2 tries on the test. The higher of the 2 grades is the one that will figure in your grade book. And so there's that. And this Chapter 3 and 4 test is a bit longer. It's a bit harder. So you have 2.5 hours. Again, you have 2 hours for Chapter 7, 2 hours for Chapter 8 and 9, 2 hours for Chapter 10. Chapter 11 does not have a test, although there's a couple of questions on the final exam from Chapter 11. The final exam is 2.5 hours, and you only have 1 shot at that. These two, the test, you have 2 tries on each one, but not so much on the final. The final, you've got 1 try, so you want to really prepare, and you want to do as well as you can there. So let's look real quick. Let's pull this one up. So we said we have 7 questions on our stuff. We got 7 questions here. So if we go to check question 1, that's going to look very similar to what we saw in the problem set and the lecture notes. If we decide that this is our answer here, if I click in there, you see down at the bottom, I have these icons that pop up. So it's saying type an ordered pair. Well, here's an ordered pair. So if I click that, then I don't have to worry about parentheses or anything. I just get to click here and put the number. Now, I have no idea what, because I haven't worked that, but I'm going to put 6 there, and I'm going to put 1 here. And I'm going to say check the answer. Okay, so they give you a little bit of information. Try this, try that, let's try it again. So we come back. Say I tried it, and here's what I'm trying again. I say check again. I get the same thing. And then the last time it's saying final check here. So if I hit final check and I haven't gotten it right, it tells me what the correct answer is and what I said. So at this point, if I'm tired of working on this one, I can just say, okay, I'll come back to it later, try the next question. Or I can say, give me a similar question, and it generated new numbers. And you can try it again, and maybe this time you know better what you're doing. It'll do that over and over, gives you 3 tries, and then it'll count it wrong. You can always come back in and work on your homework until it's closed. It's not going to close till the end of the course. So you can keep doing that. Now you need to have passed it, but say you get to the end of the course and you look back and say, gosh, I got a lot of 70s. Let me go back and try to make those hundreds. You can still do that. So keep that in mind. Down here at the bottom, I want you to note, you can ask for an example, but you will already have examples because I've given them to you. I doubt you need that. But you could click here on Get More Help. It can take you to the book. It can give you the author's video. It could give you some calculator help, but here's the big one, Ask My Instructor. If you click that, it formulates this email on this particular question. And in here you can type, Ms. Barnes, I've tried this, this, and this. I don't know where to go. Or whatever your question is, type it in here, send it. It comes straight to me from you. I know that it's from you, and I know exactly which question you're working on. And that's the best way for me to help you. So you've got lots of resources. Let me get out of this. Okay. So I think I've given you what you need. You've got some problem sets for each section, some lecture notes, video. The homework is set to mirror what you're working on, and your tests will come from your homework questions, generate, I'll pick certain homework questions to put on the test. Now, if you need me, you email me. Do not hesitate to email me and let me know that you're stuck. Don't let yourself get behind. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. This is not a super easy course, but it doesn't even have college algebra as a prereq, and yet there's a good bit of algebra in it. So sometimes it can be a little harder, and it's stuff that a lot of people have never done. So we're going to get through it together, and I'm looking forward to working with you. So let me know if you need anything at all throughout the semester.